notice how so many trans people, especially trans women, have this deep fear of being alone? And it's never talked about. We joke about it, we distract ourselves, we date the wrong people, but underneath all that, there's this quiet fear that we don't want to admit. Today, in today's video, I want to talk about why that fear is so real. Let's dive into today's wonderful, amazing video. Bada bing, bada boom.
It's a ghetto Christmas, ghetto Christmas time. It's a ghetto Christmas time.
Hi loves, welcome back to another video. My name is Alizea and I'm your favorite ghetto black transsexual. Get up into the bed purr, whatever. Blah, 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 blah. I'm back. How are you wonderful, amazing people doing today, girl? I hope you're doing amazing. Thank you for asking. And without further ado, girl, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss this pretty ghetto face on your goddamn screen. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's dive into it today. Chapter 1, Feeling Different. For a lot of us, the fear starts way before transition. When you grow up feeling different, isolated, and misunderstood, you learn early that you only have to cling on to the people who make you feel a little bit safe. Most trans people spend their entire childhood hiding pieces of themselves, so basically being alone. It becomes dangerous because when you're alone, you're stuck with your thoughts, your identity, and your truth. And sometimes you have to force yourself to suppress it so you can feel some type of safe in this very toxic environment that you're in.
I'm a trans girl that's still under construction, and like as a trans person, like, do you guys ever just freak out at like it being so scary to like be trans? Like it's so scary, and like I feel really late in the game because I waited so long to start my hormones, but it's because of these fears, like all of these things that like our people go through. Like I was watching them do it while I was like a femboy and getting away with like just living life with privilege, and like I was always so scared. I was like, I know I'm trans, but like it's so scary to be trans. Like it's so scary. And then now we're in 2025 where like it's so dangerous. Sometimes I just freak out. Like I don't leave the house very much, and like it's just so crazy what like trans people like how they're villainized. And I keep saying I'm not one to come on fucking TikTok crying, but like this is the only place where there's nice trans people that I can talk to. Like there's some really nice people on here that I just keep coming back for because I really appreciate it. Of course, I could just be freaking out because yesterday was injection day. I don't even know when I'm supposed to cry and when I'm not. But it's scary to be trans. It's so scary to be a trans person.
Okay, so growing up transgender, first, like I said, I was raised by my aunt and my oldest cousin, transgender. And me being a young child growing up, you know what I'm saying, I really looked up to her. She was beautiful. And she ended up going to prison for, you know, whatever reasons she did. I used to write her in prison a lot. But being younger, it's like people looking at me like I'm a gay boy and picking on me, calling me gay, asking me are you gay or gay why, shit like that back in the day. That's like old school shit. People laughing at me, looking at me like I'm different. My whole life, like in school, it's like I always got attention. Everywhere I went, people would be looking at me, laughing at me, asking me to twerk, asking me to dance, and it was uncomfortable at first because I had bad anxiety. I was just scared of people, you know, talking about me, and I didn't want to get attacked for being who I was. It was really, really like hard. Like I used to cry sometimes, and I used to write poetry. I started writing poetry. To share my feelings about what I was going through. I was in and out of mental hospitals. I had to drink some black charcoal shit for overdosing on some pills. That's how I ended up getting my check. I get a check, so I'm gonna get a check my whole life. But that's how I get a check though, because you know society fucked me up. I was like, you know, a little mini Cinderella type shit. I had to babysit kids. I couldn't really do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So when I turned 18, I left. I left because I had to live my life.
When I was a little boy, I was homeless. Hear me out. When I was a little boy growing up in Florida, I knew I was a girl on the inside, but I just thought I was trapped in a boy's body. My parents were very religious, and when I talked about wanting to be a girl, it was shut down hard. I was basically told to pray the gay away, so that's what I did. Didn't work. Childhood was tough for many reasons besides being transgender. My parents were also super poor. I remember being 5 years old and getting evicted from our home and sleeping on the floor of another family's home for months before we found our place. For a lot of transgender kids, their focus is more on surviving than it is on transitioning.
Chapter 2, Rejection and Trauma. Trans people don't just face normal rejection, they face rejection from friends, partners, strangers, and sometimes even their own families. After a while, your brain starts to assume that everyone leaves, so you cling harder. You stay in friendships that drain you. You chase people who don't treat you right, not because you're desperate, but because you're scared that the silence at the end of the day will haunt you. The silence that reminds you of how many times people have walked away. Chapter 3, Safety and Survival. Let's be real, being alone as a trans person can make you feel unsafe. Walking by yourself, dating by yourself, and even going out at night by yourself. There's a real survival instinct that makes you want a partner, a best friend, somebody to just be there with you. It's not clinginess, it's survival, literally. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. For me, this fear didn't come from wanting a relationship. It came from watching relationships change the moment I came out. My friends moving differently, people who I once felt safe suddenly felt distant and started, disconnecting with me. And some people just disappeared on me. Like, it made me feel less than. It just made me feel hopeless, basically.
I'm trans, and something I think about often is, even though I transitioned very young, I did not meet my first trans person until my early 20s. And for the majority of my life, I thought I was the only trans person in existence. I thought nobody else felt the way that I felt. And obviously, as an adult, I've come to realize that isn't true. There are plenty of trans people in the world, especially now that I've moved to New York. They're literally everywhere. But there is a profound loneliness in growing up thinking that nobody else in the world is like you and that you will never see yourself in another person. Like, imagine having red hair or blue eyes or being a different skin color and never having met somebody that looks like you or has your shared experience. Looking back on it, I cannot think of a more isolating experience to live through as a child.
One of the most isolating feelings, I think, is being a trans person in a red state. Queer people just do not have the level of visibility here in the way that they might in a blue state or city. So oftentimes I find myself in situations where I am the only trans person in the room. And I very, very often find myself in situations where I am the only trans person that somebody has ever met. It's just sad. And it's not like they don't exist. Of course, there's trans people everywhere. But when you live in a state or city that is not very accepting, it is extremely discouraging to want to be openly queer. So we hide and cry and sit around thinking, there's nobody out there that's like me.
And I want y'all to understand me and listen to me when I say this. When love has been taken away before your body doesn't relax in connection, it braces for impact. It's like you getting hit by a bus, girl. That's not funny. The trauma layer. This is where people get it wrong. They see trans people being cautious, anxious, or attached in relationships and label it as clingy. But when you don't see the trauma underneath, rejection doesn't just hurt emotionally, it trains your nervous system to stay on high alert. So you start watching out for signs of some people that might leave. You downplay your needs. You try to be easy to love. I'm just going to be honest with you. What looks like insecurity is just often trauma or response to loss. I want to say this clearly. The fear of being alone doesn't mean trans people don't love themselves. It means we had to fight harder for connection. It means we lost people for being honest. It means we know what it feels like to be left. But here's the truth that I'm still learning. Community matters just as much as romance. And learning to feel safe with yourself is a process, not a failure. So take time with learning yourself. Don't be beating yourself up when you're sitting over here trying to figure yourself out. You don't have everything figured out at your, teenage years, your early adult years, you in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 80s. I don't know what the hell, how old you is. I really don't care. But bada bing, bada boom. Take time, breathe air, because I want you to understand this. We don't fear being alone because we're weak. We fear it because we remember what it's like to be abandoned. And if you resonated with this, you're not alone. I want you guys to understand that, girl, be comfortable with me in the comments. Tell me, what you got going on and how you feel in the comments. And when did you first notice this fear, girl? Because, I like to, build communities, girl. And I like to read some of y'all's comments, girl. Before my comment section gets hectic and I got all the people coming in the comments talking about, man. Girl, oh my God. Ain't nobody got time for you to be saying, man. Baby, I know I got a princess wand down here and it's 13 inches, girl. I don't care, baby girl. But if you made it to the end of the video, girl, I want you guys to drop a, emoji. Today's emoji will be a pig, girl, because, Miss Oink Oink, I really don't know, girl. Bada bing, bada boom. Just drop a pig if you made it to the end of the goddamn video. People gonna be like, why is there pigs in the comment section? I don't know. Maybe watch to the end. But I love you, wonderful, amazing people. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss this pretty face on your screen. Bada bing, bada boom. And I'm going to talk to you, wonderful, amazing people later. Bye, loves.